The terrible truth is that with some notable exceptions, including the very significant exception of the generation that came of age in the 1960s, white people overall have either been directly involved in or have supported or at least passively accepted all this throughout the history of this country. During the whole time of slavery, during the decades of Jim Crow segregation and Ku Klux Klan terror, when repeatedly black people, in particular black men, who did not know their place, or perhaps sometimes without even knowing why, angered some white person, would be lynched, while crowds of white people would gather in a picnic atmosphere, vying to get parts of the mutilated body of the black person hanging from a tree. And photographs of this were turned into postcards that were sold throughout the country. Yes, this is true. An ugly, shameful truth. Today, with the repeated murders of black people by police, in the rare instances when the murdering cop is actually indicted, there are white people who sit on juries and refuse to convict. And still too many white people who claim to care about justice and will take to social media to denounce far less outrageous and sometimes even trivial acts, cannot find it in themselves to be outraged and moved to act about this. If the police wantonly shot down dogs over and over again, there would be a huge outcry throughout society, including from people who are silent or make excuses when this is done to human beings of darker skin. Now, it would be wrong and harmful to ignore the fact that there are white people, in particular younger white people, but others as well, who have taken to the streets to protest these murders and who have put forward the stand. White silence is violence. It is complicity in murder. This is, of course, a good thing, and it needs to happen much more on a much greater scale. But given the actual history of this country, down to today, does it really make sense to insist, as some people still stubbornly do, that fascism couldn't happen here, not in this country, with our democracy and our great traditions? It is, however, very important to dig into the question, how did things come to this point where we are confronting the real horror of a fascist America?